Pope Francis condemning an Easter Sunday attack in Lahore, Pakistan. 70 people died, hundreds were injured, many children and women. The terrorists admit the suicide bombing targeted Christians. Bloodshed in Lahore, Pakistan, at a park where families were celebrating Easter. This mother buries her 16-year-old daughter, Sharon Petra.
Nowhere we are safe, especially seeing the Christians. I feel really sorry and sad because the people who died, they are really young and students they are.
10-year-old Fahid Ali's parents died in the attack. A breakaway Taliban group which supports the Islamic State claims responsibility. They say they targeted Pakistani Christians, but police say most of the dead are Muslim, with 14 Christians. These nuns and others condemn the suicide attacks.
The covert terrorists who have tried to attack our children, women's, mothers and the brothers.
And the Pakistani Prime Minister says he will avenge every drop of blood. But other Muslims rallied in Pakistan's capital of Islamabad, demanding the hanging of Asia Bibi, a Christian mother on death row. At the Vatican today, Pope Francis calls for better security for religious minorities and remembered the victims.
La Santa Pasqua è stata insanguinata.
The Holy Father calls the attacks abominable, vile, and senseless. He says violence and hatred only lead to sorrow and destruction. Tonight, prayers at the Vatican and tears mixed with prayers in Pakistan. And Chief White House correspondent Lauren Ashburn is at the White House tonight with reaction. Lauren?
Brian, strong words from the White House today following the brutal killings in Pakistan. A statement yesterday from the National Security Council says, quote, "The United States condemns in the strongest terms today's appalling terrorist attack in Lahore, Pakistan. This cowardly act in what has long been a scenic and placid park has killed dozens of innocent civilians and left scores injured." At today's White House briefing, Press Secretary Josh Earnest called for global support to end terror that targets all religious minorities.
Peace-loving people of all faiths and of all religions must come together to fight this kind of extremism.
The White House pointed to its efforts to weaken terrorists' access to finances over the last few months and to the capture and killing of top leaders. But he says success is going to depend on our partners to take action.
The United States cannot be the world's policeman. That is, their own citizens who are being victimized by these atrocious acts of terrorism.
The president plans to conduct a session on the destruction of ISIS later this week at the Nuclear Security Summit in Washington, D.C. Brian?
Thank you. Lauren Ashburn at the White House tonight.